Shalom, Yasharala. It's your brother Dawada, coming back at you with this here truth again. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that taught us this truth and that rule well. And salutation and much love for your Akim pushing this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. So I want to jump into this here lesson, which is, it's more or less to the time of, wake up, time to believe, all right? And, basically just look around you and look into some of these things that we've been telling you about, all right? And I'm gonna have to be very careful with this here lesson because we don't want to get knocked down. But nevertheless, we've been telling you about these things. I know for myself personally, I've been telling you about this since day one, all right? Since basically the first video I ever put up, man, around that time, breaking down things like Morgellons disease and what these things go into. And if you don't know about that, it's not a sickness or anything, for one. It's not a disease, for two. It's a piece of technology, all right? Nano robots, all right? Yeah, I know it sounds far-fetched, and hey, that was the sentiment back in those days, it's far-fetched. These are just scientific things they coming up with and everything, but they're not going to actually play these things out. But lo and behold, these prophecies are speaking right now, all right? And it's all being played out in real time. Now is not the time for you to be looking around, oh, y'all conspiracy theorists and taking things as a light joke, man. Now you can literally, you don't even have to look these things up no more. They're telling you these things on the mainstream media and the mainstream news that everybody is so believable or so in belief of. They're telling you these things flat out of their own mouths, all right? And you have to understand, it's like, yo, man, what are they actually doing, all right? Now you have to ask yourself, maybe these guys, put your pride to the side. Maybe these guys were telling the truth, all right? And especially a lot of you guys that's out there that watch multiple different camps, the different One West camps, the big major camps. You watching, a little IUIC, ISUPK, and GMS, and all these different camps. Like, yo, that's going to do nothing but bring confusion, all right? Because here at GMS, we've been standing behind this since, hey, well, I don't know, Apostle Hart been speaking about this. But I know for myself, when I came into the truth, this was already known information. This was already being pushed out, man, all right? And we've been telling you about these things for so long. People laughed and scoffed. You have the different camps that made their laughing and scoffing videos and making jokes about all these things. But hey, look, now all these things are coming out. Now all these things are speaking loud and clear. Now these things are out on the forefront, just like with the chariots. People used to think we were crazy about the chariots. Then lo and behold, the Pentagon started releasing videos, and now they're about to have a documentary or a series on these things. Now, it comes to a point in time where you have to stop, put your pride to the side, and think, maybe these guys are telling the truth. All right, maybe these guys, you have certain people where it's like, you may not like a person for whatever reason, but hey, I can't deny that, for instance, Kanye West. Some people don't like Kanye West as a person, but you can't deny that, hey, he has good music, right? Like, well, his music is pretty doggone, he's pretty talented when it comes to music. You can't deny that. Just because you don't like him personally, you got to put that pride to the side, man. His music is actually good music. So the same way here, man. All right, this is that song that only 144,000 can learn. You may not like us personally for whatever reasons, all the lies people say about us and everything else like that. But one thing you can't say about us, all right, is that the information we've been giving you, is it or is it not coming to pass? We told you about things shutting down. We told you about the MOTB, all right, which we're going to get into right now. But nevertheless, it's time for all the jokes and everything to be put to the side and people to get serious, because ultimately, that our temptation is coming upon the earth. And our job was to warn the people about these things. All right, so let's jump into it. This is Habakkuk 2:1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. All right, because, you know what? Let me start somewhere else real quick. It'll break it down, and we'll grab that as well. But we'll grab it here in Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 17. All right. It says, Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. So first of all, this isn't anything that we just coming up out of, just pulling information out and just spewing whatever madness that there is. All right. This was something that was put into us. All right. This is something that we were, we're just a messenger. All right. We like the UPS or the Amazon driver, man. It's like the Amazon drivers ain't picking up and filling their vans with whatever they want to put in their vans and going to whatever house they want to go to. No, they go to the distribution hub. They have a list of the things that they're going to load their vans up with, and they have a route that they're gonna go and follow, and the drivers just following the route. They just following direction. So, hey man, you can't really blame them for a lot of different things, man. It's like, well, shit, they the one gave me my marching orders, and I'm just following out the orders. Same with us, man. All right. It says, "Son of man, I've made thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth." All right. And how do we hear the word at the Lord's mouth? All right. The Lord will do nothing but reveal his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. And where are these secrets at? All right, in the scriptures. So this is what we do. We filter these things out through the scriptures. All right. It says, "Son of man, I've made thee a watchman into the house of Israel. Therefore, hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me." And this is why, this is why we sound like a quote unquote broken record. Constantly keep going into the same topics back to back to back to back to back, because just like a police siren or whatever. You hear that thing go off, and it's just a constant loop of the same sound bite going back to back to back. Hey, emergency, get out of the way. Or you hear any kind of warning alarm, flooding, fire alarm. It's the same little sound loop going back to back to back to back. You don't hear it just playing and one rotation and then it just stop. No, it's constantly giving people warning. Hey, evacuate, 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 evacuate. And that's what we're doing right now. This is why we keep hitting you over the head with these things. And now that it's coming out more and more, they're the hour of temptation is drawing closer and closer to where, they're making it harder for you to maneuver around in society. You can't go to in certain places, you can't go to work unless you participate. All right. Or you can't go into certain establishments, really any establishment, if you don't participate. Your kids can't go to school. All right. So you're faced with losing your job, losing your housing. And I can only imagine in a lot of these high-rise buildings, hey, if you don't participate and you can't prove that you participated, all right, then you can't come into these apartments. Even though you may pay rent here or whatever, we can void your contract because you're putting the rest of the building at risk. So we see how this design is being put together for the outcome that they want. All right. But what we've been giving you warning from Jump Street about these things, man. All this here, this Babylon is coming to an end. Most of these Americans don't want to hear that because that's the end of their pride and their joy. But let's just say they wanted to ignore us the whole time anyway. Now look at where we at anyway. They've got this place pretty much shut down again, man. All right. Or if not, they about to go to a hard shutdown. So what? You didn't want to hear us before, but that don't mean that the prophecies are going to stop. So what if some didn't believe? All right. It's not going to, you want to turn off the news because the weatherman is bringing in doom and gloom. There's going to be a Cat 5 hurricane coming and flooding all of the area. Y'all got to evacuate or everybody going to die. Oh, we don't want to hear the doom and gloom. Well, that's you and your stupidity. The storm's still going to come. The floods are still going to come. Your ass is going to be one drowned motherfucker, man. And don't call on the police at that point. 911. Oh, my God, my house is flooding. I need y'all to come save me. You know what they're going to say? Hey, man, we gave y'all the warning. Don't call us. Figure it out yourself, man. All right, just like the Lord. The Lord say, look, I'm going to number you all to the sword because when I call, you ain't answer. When I sent my men out there to constantly keep piping unto you, you ain't want to dance. You just laughed and you scoffed. You thought it was a joke, or you, make the Holy One cease from us. We don't want to hear that shit, man. You always talking about doom and gloom and storms and floods. Bro, we don't want to hear that shit. But now your ass out there drowning and you don't know what to do. You don't know who to call. Well, I thought I could always call on the police to come get me. No, man, they not coming at this point in time, man. Everybody think that they can call on the Most High, but you can't call on the Most High when you've been ignoring him. He's got his men out here sacrificing day in and day out to constantly warn and watch and to tell you people about what's coming down the pipeline. And now here it is coming down the pipeline, and everybody want to they can't force everybody to do this. They can't. Now you see in the military being done like that. All right. In certain states, again, the employers, the employees, the schools, traveling, all these different places, you're going to need, to be able to participate. Like we told you, it's not going to all happen all at once. All right. It wasn't like, the first sign of this thing, you know what? We're going to require everybody to take this all right here, all at once, right here and there. No, it's called gradualism. We'll give you a little bit of this. Now that don't work. Well, we got to go to phase 2. Yeah, that don't work. You got to get these little boosters. Well, that don't work. We got to get this. Now there's a mutation. They got another new mutation that start with an L. I forgot what it's called. They got a new mutation now, and they talking about it's heavily targeting the children. And you know what? The children, I know in some places are, I seen them, yesterday I think was, or one of these days, maybe last week, the kids started going back to school and things like that, man. So, and then like here in Florida, they say, hey, look, man, from the top down, like y'all school boards, you can't mandate that they wear, the face coverings and things like that, man. All right. So kind of setting them up, where the people feel like that they got their freedoms and they're doing this and that. But all that's doing is opening up a door for a catalyst. All right. For them to be like, see, we had another major breakout. We got to go to extreme drastic measures to save everybody. Like the scripture say, when it should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. All right. A gift destroyeth the heart. All right, you want to put your trust into these damn Egyptians? That's gonna be your shame and your confusion, man. All right, because you didn't want to take the counsel of the Lord when the Lord say don't be they, that's the scam man over there, man. He finna scam you for everything. Don't let homeboy work on your house, man. Don't let homeboy work on your car. All right, bro, I'm trying to tell you, yeah, but he got this cheap price, bro. He gave me this advertisement. Don't believe his advertisement, man. Listen to all the other people who done went for him for his services. They in a way worse scenario than when they started out. And you want to go and deal with him. Now you got bit by the damn serpent. We told you not to trust the enemy, man. But that was you that wanted to be hard-headed with these things, man. All right. Verse 18, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor to speak to warn the wicked from his wicked ways to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. And this is why we constantly go into these same lessons and constantly warning the people, because at the end of the day, there's going to be no excuse for, the outcomes, man. You can't say, oh, I ain't know about this. I didn't know about that, man. There's not only, use me for an example. Think about how many different videos I done put up on this one topic alone. Now, I'm just one brother in one little camp. Imagine how many of the other brothers that's in the camp that I'm in put up the same videos on the same topic. Now, think about all the other GMS camps that there is around. So there is no excuse for this, man. All right, the record has been on repeat, and we're constantly warning and warning and warning. So, hey, look, the blood is off of our hands. All right, verse 19. Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked ways, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. All right, so, hey, man, if you don't want to take heed to this, the Most High not going to have mercy on you, because, again, it's like I told your hard-headed ass not to do this. And, but nevertheless, hey, our people are stiff-necked people, man. They don't want to listen. They don't want to hearken until things get bad, They want to go out here and go, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know better than this. I don't want to be barred from participating in society. I'm going to go and take this. Or they about to make me lose my job. Finally got a good job. Finally paying some bills. Just got a new Benz. Just got my first house. I ain't finna lose all this shit and go back to the projects. I'm finna go and participate. Now your ass participated. Now your ass is sick and all disabled. You done lost your job anyway. Now you know what I'm saying? And now you back to square one. All right. So in the position you thought that you was saving yourself from and hiding from, you ended up in that position. But guess what's worse than that? All right. Now you can't call on the Most High, man. All right. You slated for death at this point in time, man. This is not no fun. This ain't no games. This ain't no jokes. This is dead ass serious, man. These are the things that's going on around you right now, man. And a lot of people like to stop their ears from hearing these things. But hey, again, what if some didn't believe? It's not going to stop this from coming, man. One way or another, you're going to be faced with these things, man. All right, no matter what scenario you in, like the scripture we'll get into, it calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. All right, they're going to all have to participate one way or another, man. All right, this is going to be leading into that hour of temptation. All right, whether you're going to stand for the Most High or you're going to stand for this here beast system, man. All right, and you got to be willing to stand for the Most High even unto death, man. All right, because this is what they're going to threaten you with, ultimately that physical death. But before that, that carnal death, man. All right, you starting to see these things, look, man, in certain places like New York. Hey, you can't come inside the store no more unless you can prove you participated. All right. And, you can't have a business in operation unless all your employers or employees are, participants, and also the customers can't come in again, like I said, unless they participated. So what do you think this is going to do to these businesses, man? All right. You're slowly killing them off, man. All right. And if you can't go to work and pay, you can't go to work and get a paycheck, how you going to pay your bills? All right, slowly but surely, they got the moratoriums or however you pronounce it, where people don't have to quite pay rent. I think they just extended it for one more month, all right, just to see how these things go. But look, again, going back to that gift assured at the heart, when they was giving out all this here money, everybody thought things was opening back up. This was the end all be all of everything. They was just about to go into the sunset. I know a lot of these jakes that did the little PPP scam. They didn't have legit businesses or anything like that. But some of them actually got that money not having a legit business and turned it into a little legit business. They got their own little businesses and thinking that's their freedom, their little way up out of this bad boy. But nevertheless, look around, man. All right. Hey, the Most High can shut down these small businesses just like that at a snap of a finger, man. You guys are just starting out. There was businesses that was already established. The little mom and pop brick and mortars been around for 10, 15 years. The local restaurants, now they out of business, man. All right. So, hey, there ain't no, you can have your little joy for a moment. Oh, because again, like the scripture said, gift assured at the heart, because people get all happy. They don't really see what's going on around them, man. Like the '08 housing crisis. Oh, I got my first house and I'm so happy about this. Or I got this here car for this low interest rate. Then all of a sudden they jack up the rates and now it becomes a curse or a burden unto you. But when they sold it to you, it was all good. It was sweet in your mouth, but then it got bitter in your belly, man. All right. Let's go back to Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2 verse 3. Oh, verse 2. And Yahweh said unto me, and Yahweh answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables that he may run that readeth it. All right. Now, there's plenty of videos, especially back in the olden days before YouTube started tightening down with not only have we been going into these words, we've been going through the scriptures. All right. We've even uploaded videos, but see, old boy done got his little algorithm set up now to where we have to monitor the certain words that we say or videos we put up, because we'll take his own information that they put up and then they'll call it medical misinformation, or they'll call it, a copyright strike, or violating the terms of services and things like that, man. To constantly keep you. My first channel, man, is still in a constant perpetual, state of being, getting strikes, man. As soon as it's like I'm about to get a strike released, I got to hit with another strike. Or they took down this here video for violating the terms of services and things like that, man. All right. But nevertheless, hey, man, we've got enough information out there for you, and going into these words again and going into these videos and breaking things down in articles and stuff, showing you that, look, this is how these things line up with the scriptures, man. All right. So, hey, it's easy for you to sit there and take a video and copy and paste the link, share it to people, re-upload it on your social sites. All right, and go and search up these things, man. You can always hit the rewind. What did he just say? Hit the rewind button and go look these things up, man. All right. Verse 3, for the vision is yet for an appointed time. All right. And so a lot of people laughed and scoffed at us. I remember a certain person saying, it's June, ain't no chip. Right. And now look at what things is going on, man. Because, see, they were trying to move on their time. All right. You have to understand what a prophecy is, which is to say before. All right. And what a prophet does is he warns you before it comes to pass. All right. Just like the weatherman. The weatherman said, oh, we got a hurricane forming out here in the tropics. Or we got a hurricane approaching. He ain't saying that as soon as he said there's a hurricane, it's not like you can just look out your window and be like, oh, the hurricane, I see it. When they give you that first warning, you can't look out your window, man, and see it's a hurricane outside like that, man. All right. From being here in Florida, hey, man, sometimes, they'll tell you about a hurricane and it'll be nice and sunny for, days leading on up. And then, that hurricane finally come in later on that day and that hour. Then all of a sudden the weather finally changes. All right. But nevertheless, a lot of people laughed and scoffed at us because they didn't understand how these prophecies work, man. All right, these things are for an appointed time. When we tell you these things, a lot of things are moving in almost real time now. The prophecies are speeding up. But nevertheless, when we were telling people about these things beforehand, all right, they couldn't see all these things. But now, again, going back into the Morgellons disease, the smart dust, the nanotechnology, they didn't have a quote unquote use for that, or a scenario where they would use those things at that point in time. But does it mean that it was a lie or a false thing that just because you couldn't see it and understand how they was going to use it back in those times, maybe you didn't have all the information. Maybe you needed a certain catalyst to take place, i.e. this thing that's going on around the whole globe, to see how they would implement these things. And now it all makes sense. All right. But nevertheless, you should take heed and warning to these things, that the people who've been telling you these things, like, yo, they've been right 10 out of 10 times, man. 100 out of 100. They 100% for everything. But the one thing that they stumble over is, let me read it again. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right. And so, we 10 for 10 here, 100% accuracy, man. All right. The only thing that people seem to slip and stumble over is the fact of it's for an appointed time. So we'll say things and they don't see it happening right then and there. Like we've been talking about the MOTB for the longest time, but yet because it had the technology and the push forward, the laws and things like that, hadn't been out there in your face on the mainstream media news, people laughed and scoffed at us about these things, man. All right. But hey, now this is the appointed time. At the end is speaking, and it's not lying. All right. It's not tarrying. It's right here around the corner, man. Not even to say around the corner. It's actually in development, and they're actually pushing it out at this point in time, man. All right. You have a lot of these people now with the situation inside of them that's changing up their DNA and everything like that, man. Hey, man. So we already understand that, these things that we're speaking are honestly the words of the Most High, man. Honestly showing us mercy by giving us this here warning before these things come down the pipeline, and you don't get caught off guard like a thief in the night. And then all of a sudden, you thought this was the right thing to do to protect yourself and your family, but then ultimately you didn't curse yourself and your family, man. All right. This is why we're out here giving the warning to the people, man. All right. Let me just read this real quick, and then I'm gonna read through something else, and we'll close out. Revelation chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their forehead. All right. So, hey, all, both small and great. All right. From the Joe Bidens all the way down to to the the regular everyday person. Jim the janitor. you know, or you know, whoever it is, even the inmates, the you know, things like that. It says rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads. Now they just passed this thing about the military, how all the military has to pretty much participate. All right, and what do you think they're gonna do? Because they're subservient to taking orders from, you know, top down. So hey, they forced to do all those things, man. All right, so hey, nevertheless, we already know what's popping out here, man. But they want to be able to control the people with these things, man. All right, verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And we see in this being played out in the Empire State, all right, which is the capital of the world. All right, you have the UN headquarters, which is headquartered right there in the Empire State. And if you can understand how things roll out, man, you can spiritually see through the spirit how, you know, hey, it started there, but it's gonna how you say, spread all over the rest of the place, man. All right, because you know, oh, we got all these cases here in such a how you say, a highly dense population in a small area, you know, and we were able to so-called control these things. So this is what's good for everybody. All right. Here's wisdom. Let him that have the understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 score and six. All right, but nevertheless, these are the things we've been telling you and warning you about. You know, let me go into this just a little bit. All right, let's go into this here word mark, which is charagma. All right, it says a stamp or imprinted mark. The stamp, the mark stamped on the foreheads of the right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Hamashiach or Antichrist. A mark branded upon horses, a thing carved, sculpture, graven, or work. All right, going down to the Strong's definition, a scratch or etching. All right, and this is exactly how they're going to wind up putting it inside of your skin. All right, let's go into that further to that word karax. All right, which is a pale, a stake or palisade. All right, and you know, like a pale or a stake. Right, you know, you got a railroad stake or you got tents, and you putting the stakes down to hold the tent up and things like that. You know, it's pretty much a shaft-like object. All right, with a pointy tip. All right, just like the syringe that they're using to push out these things, you know, and you'd be like, oh, it's just a liquid. But see, you too dumb to not realize and to look into these things. There's more than just that in there, man. These things are on a nano scale, man. You can't even really see it with your naked eye, man. All right. Let's go further into this here word. Grapho, all right, to write. With reference to the form of letters, to delineate or form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. To write with reference to contents of writing, all right, to express in written characters. Basically, let me go jump down. It says to write to one by writing in a writing epistle to give information or directions, all right. So basically going into these things, you know, to write, you know, first of all, to etch or to engrave inside the skin with something down to a sharp point, like a stake or a pail, all right. But then also with that to you know, to be able to write things down, to how does they word it, to basically to write information and things like that, you know. So when you go into some of these things, and which is admitted on their own website, all right, that the nanotechnology and the things that's going in there, you know, they get it's called well, we're not gonna say the word what it's called, but when you go on their website, all right, they tell you basically it's an operating system. And if you know what an operating system is, all right, it's like, you know, Windows 95, Windows 98, Windows XP. Those are different operating systems, all right. So it's in form of a computer program, and you know, computer programs and websites are made up of what? Written code. Just like how you have, you know, the written code to your genetic makeup and things like that, man. So this thing that they're going to be putting inside of you, all right, through the way of which of a syringe or something of that type of sort, all right, is going to have written information on there, or rewriting the code of your life and things like that, man, to be able to change and to manipulate your, you know, your so-called regular code into your you know, your genetic makeup. You know, we'll put it in those words. All right, so going further into this here word stigma, all right, it says from the primary word stiso, or to stick or to prick. All right, now we just read about this, right? It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body To the ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or the stamp of their master, commander, branded or prick cut into their body, all right, just like how they're putting something into your body right now, to indicate what master or general they belonged to, and there were even some devotees who were stamped themselves in this way with the token of their gods, all right. And this is what he wants to do, all right. He basically wants to make you his servant, all right. He wants to be your God. He wants to be like the Most High, all right. And this is the way of he's gonna rewrite the code to your genetic makeup and make you follow his commandments and everything else that he puts into your mind, all right. Going back into this word stiso again, all right, or stigma, it says to stick, to prick, a mark incised or punched for recognition of ownership, all right. So going back into this here word, we understand just based off of what the definitions of these words are, that this is going to be something that's going to be placed inside of your body, man, all right. Let me read through this real quick and we'll close out in Ezekiel. Ezekiel 33 and verse 30. All right, just getting to the point. And also, thou son of man, if the children of thy people still are talking against thee by the walls and in the doors of the houses, and speak one to another, every one to his brother, saying, Come, I pray you, and hear with this word that cometh from Yahweh, coming forth from Yahweh. And they come unto thee as the people cometh, and they sit before thee as my people, and they hear thy words, but they will not do them. For with their mouth they show much love, but with their heart goeth after their covetousness. So, hey, we tell them, we warn them, and they'll sit there in our face, I hear you, I believe you, and everything else like that. As soon as you leave, man, that nigga always on some bullshit, man. I got to go get my paycheck. I'm about to go over here and go over to the club, go to the grocery store. I ain't finna stop this for that. Man, this nigga crazy. He be watching too much TV, too much movies, man. All right, God ain't got nothing to do with this, or God would have told me if this what it was. God would have came to me personally and told me this what it was. This is how our people are really acting into these things, man. You have some of our quote unquote, old heads or elders, right? The actual people that are older than us, they'll look down upon them and be, y'all young heads, y'all need to quit playing around. Y'all need to go get this. Y'all need to go get that. I got a customer right now, two older Jakes, in their 70s or whatever, and they supposed to be so-called woke about, the so-called man and everything else like that and how much he's the damn devil. But yet, and then they so-called religious, they're devout Catholics and things like that. And I'm like, wait a minute, y'all bugged out because y'all into this to begin with. All right, and y'all talking about the so-called man, the white man is the enemy, but y'all into this Catholicism. Y'all, God can protect us. God got this, God got that. But then you done ran out here and consulted and took counsel from these damn Egyptians and from the Pharaoh, man, from your damn enemy, man. All right, so how much are you really learning in these harlot houses, man? All right, and then, hey, if our gospel be hid, it's hid to them that's lost. So you have a lot of our people that's out here blinded, man. A lot of our people that's out here misguiding our people, man. Especially some of these older folks and things like that. Young blood, I've been around here way long. I'm old enough to be your granddaddy. I know better than this. I know better. They've been saying this here same thing for years, man. All right. So, hey, this is the sentiment of our people. Verse 32, and lo, thou art unto them as a very lovely song of one that has a pleasant voice and can play well on an instrument, for they hear thy words, but do them not. They'll say, oh, yeah, you should be a preacher or a pastor. Boy, you know that Bible real good. You've been paying attention. Oh, let me call somebody and, man, you got to hear this young man. He's very, well-rounded in the Bible. I need y'all to hear him. But then at the end of the day, they ain't going to do none of the words that we've been telling them, man. They want to continue to, eat abominable foods. They want to continue to, go join hand in hand with the enemy and trusting on them. They want to continue to participate with these different things. All right, and they don't want to hearken. They want, they give the Most High lip service. Oh, preach, brother, preach. Y'all do a good job. Y'all keep standing up. Y'all, all right, I got y'all. And keep on moving, man. All right, but then lo and behold, these are the same people that in their own mind, their pride is taking over. Oh, I know what's best for me. I know what's going on. Again, God would have told me personally about these things. And they right there in the little line trying to make sure that they can secure themselves some type of safety, all right, and putting their trust right here into the hands of the enemies. And guess what? These are going to be the same people that's pricked there with, all right? Verse 33, and when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, because why? The vision is yet for an appointed time. Just because we telling you right now, you don't see it happening, don't mean it's not coming to pass. But it says, and when this cometh to pass, and lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet have been among them, all right? After the fact, like, damn, they didn't told me about this, and now I'm all messed up, and, oh, man. So, hey, ultimately, you know, this is why we constantly push out the same thing over and over and over and over again. Because look, man, we were giving you warning of these things. You can't say you didn't know about it. You can't say you haven't heard these things. All right, it's to the point now to where it's laughable and it's a meme type of thing that what we believe in, you know, and everything else like that. But what do you think? What do you see is actually coming to pass, man? All right, so you know, if everybody know us and laugh and scoff at us for that one major thing about believing what the MOTB is, and now they pushing out on the mainstream media news like, yo, this is what y'all know us for. Y'all, oh, y'all GMS, y'all believe this is that. If y'all know that that's our stance, and now you're looking at the news, which you watch all the time to see where you need guidance from the doctor from, all right, what are they telling you? They telling you the same thing we telling you. But see, you know, they stiff-necked people, man. They be like, oh, see, that brother was saying the truth, but then they ain't doing none of the things that we've been telling them to do. But then when your ass go down there and participate and you get these side effects or things just go wrong for your ass, you wind up running from a missile and wind up becoming missile food, then you're going to know that a prophet had been among you. Then you're going to know that these things wasn't just he say, she say. Then you're going to know that the Most High reached out unto you at those days. But like the Lord say, hey, man, let me close out there. Proverbs 1. Oh, I'll just read through real fast. 1 and 22. How long, you simple ones, will you love simplicity, and the scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge? You know, a lot of our people, they think that they so smart and they don't want to hear what we got to say, and we'll try to show them the documents and documentaries, the videos they don't want to watch. They got more important things to do. But then all of a sudden, now they stuck into the trick bag, you know, or they forced to participate with certain things and they ain't got the full deck of cards that they playing with. Verse 23, turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you and I will make known my words unto you. And how did the Most High do that? By setting up the watchmen, the prophets, to warn you in the highways and the byways, day in and day out. Flood the internet with these videos. Turn you at my reproof. Behold, I will pour out my spirit upon you. I will make known my words unto you. Because I have called and you refused, and I stretched out my hand and no man regarded. But ye have said it not all my counsel and with none of my reproof. All right, so look, you wanted to choose to ignore the Most High, and how do you ignore the Most High? By ignoring his prophets, right? Verse 26, I also will laugh at your calamities. I will mock when your fear cometh. So, hey, it's going to be too late once you go ahead and participate with these things, and then you start catching side effects, or they start turning up the frequencies and things like that. Then you all plague day in and day out, man. All right, then you want to be, oh, I need help. Y'all pray for me and everything else like that, man. All you're doing is making a meme for your damn self, man. You're going to become a meme. You're going to meme your own self, man. Y'all pray for me. I got this and I got that. And then we'll take the video and sit there and laugh and mock. Like, yo, we told you. Y'all laughed and y'all mocked at us. What you was really laughing and mocking at the Most High. Now the Most High getting the last laugh, man. All right. Verse 26 again. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction cometh as the whirlwind, when distress and language cometh upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear the Lord. They would none of my counsel, they despise all my reproof. All right, so look, man, again, like I was saying about the weatherman earlier and warning the people about the hurricane and the floods coming in. People want to turn the channel and ignore all those things. Now the flood coming in and you didn't call 911 and they say, look, bro, we ain't answering. We got a recording. Nobody's even in the office. We told y'all to evacuate 2 weeks ago, but y'all ain't want to listen. Well, now we're going to laugh at your calamities when we get back to the office and we listen to all these recordings of all these people drowning because, hey, man, we warned y'all. Y'all was, nah, we good. They always tripping. They don't know what they talking about, all that doom and gloom. I'm going to stay right here in my house. Now your asses, they done found your body floated down the damn river and shit. Right? Verse 27. When your fear cometh as a desolation and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you, then shall they call upon me and I will not answer. Then shall they seek me early, but they shall not find me. For that they hated knowledge and did not choose to fear Yahweh. They would none of my counsel. They despise my reproof. Therefore shall they eat the fruit of their own ways and be filled with their own devices. All right. So look, just, you know, you want to follow after your own ways and listen to Esau with his devices. You're going to become a bird caught in a snare with his ass, man, because he's the enemy, man. He's looking who he may devour. And your ass basically going to get devoured by him because why? You was playing with the damn enemy, man. So, hey, we're not going to have pity on you. Who going to pity a charmer? But nevertheless, Lord willing, this here lesson was edifying unto the elect. Until next time, I say, call halal Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shah, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone that taught us this truth and ever will. And salutation, much love for you. I can push this truth and sincerity over the four corners of the earth and enduring afflictions to feed and edify the elect. Until next time, I say, stay strong. Shalom.